Okay, this is your first assignment then. I want you to type in the word name for me, okay? Type in the word name in cell A1 and press enter. And now let's type in the word John, okay? Type in the name John. And then I want you to type a J again. And did John come in? It did. And it does it as autocomplete. Like if you had a column like you had Winnipeg, 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 you would say thank you very much because the Winnipeg's going to repeat. But you didn't want John, you wanted Jack. So put in Jack. And press enter. Not JJ Jack. Okay, and now type another J for me. Did anything come in? No. Why not? Because it doesn't know whether you want J-O or J-A. Okay, so now let's put in Jim, I-M. So you put in Jim. All right, press enter, and we'll try it again. Type Linda, L-I-N-D-A. All right, and press enter. And now this time put an L in. And did you get Linda again? You did, but we want L-Y-N-D-A. So put L-Y-N-D-A. And press enter. And now type another L. And did anything come in? No. Type a Y. And did Linda come in? It did, but we don't want that. We want Lynn, so go N-N. Okay, now let's put another name in. Type Mary. And press enter. And then type Dawn. And press enter. And type Tanis. And press enter. And type Dave. And press enter. And press enter and type Ron. And press enter and type Wanda. And stop there. Okay, stop there. All right, now press your right arrow once for me. Press your right arrow once. And press your end key, up arrow. How fast it was, okay? You wouldn't sit there and go like this, da, 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 and take an hour and a half, right? It's end, up arrow. So always remember, you might be 300 rows down. That's the fastest way up, okay? All right, so now I want you to type hours, H-O-U-R-S, and press enter. And we're going to make a little salary here, okay? So I want you to put in 40. Just type 40 and press enter. Now type 39, press enter. And now type 40, press enter, and type 38. Press enter, and type 37, press enter, and type 40. And stop there. Okay? All right, now I have to teach you something. I want you to do this for me. Put your cursor in cell B7. Are you in cell B7? Now, do you see this big white cursor? I call that one the big white cursor, the big white cross. Okay, that's the big white cross that I'm moving. Now, put your cursor right here. And do you see thin black crosshairs? Thin black crosshairs? All right, click, hold, and drag down. And did you get 40, 40, 40? So anytime you have something repeating, you use your thin black crosshairs and drag down so that you don't type it in manually. I don't expect you to do that. All right? Okay, now click in a blank cell. Doesn't matter where. Press your end key up arrow, and you should be in cell C1. Are you in cell C1? Okay, before we go any further, let's save this. All right? So I want you to go Control and press the letter S to save. Go Control and press the letter S to save. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to your U drive. Okay, go to your U drive. And now go to your AO folder. Are you in your AO folder? And now go to Basic Formulas. Go to Basic Formulas. All right? And I want you to put in your name. Go down to the file name. Put in your name. So I'm going to type Lee. Just your first name is good. Then I want you to put in APR 13 for the date. And then I want to call this one teaching. Okay? Teaching. Okay? Put in your name, the date, and teaching. Everybody's good that way? Save it in Basic Formulas, yes. Marissa, you're okay? Okay. All right, click on save. Click on save. Okay, are you in cell C1? Everyone, are you in cell C1? Okay. Remember, if you are unable to follow, just sit and listen and watch. Okay? All right, in C1, I want to put in rate, R-A-T-E. Put in rate for me. And press enter. And now you're in cell C2, right? How do you know? Okay, we'll put in 19, so just put 19, nothing else. And now for Jack, I want you to put in 19.75 because there's 2 decimal places. And then for Jim, I want you to put in 19.5. I don't have to put the 0 in. We'll format that to put it on. I don't have to put the 0 in, okay? And then let's put in 19.33 and press enter. And let's put in 20. And then we'll put in a 10. That's good. Put in 10. And then let's put in 10.5 and press enter and stop. Okay? Now you said, I want to put a different pattern in. I don't want to go 40, 40, 40. I want to go $10, $10.50, 11, 11.5 so that I can see if I get, 50 cents more each hour, what difference will it make in my pay scale? All right? So I want you to click in cell C7. Click in cell C7 for me, please. Now hold down your shift key. Hold down your shift key and click in cell C8. Does your screen look like my screen? Now, the first cell where the 10 is white. That tells you it's the active cell. That's where your cursor is. The cell that is blue is the highlighted cell. Okay, the cell that is blue is the highlighted cell. All right, now take your thin black crosshairs. Click, hold, and drag down until you get down to C13. And did you get 10.5, 11, 11.5, 12, 12.5, and 13? Okay, so you got your pattern. All right, click in a blank cell, press your end key up arrow, and you should now be in cell D1. Are you in cell D1? Okay, good work. All right, so now this time, let's type in there pay, P-A-Y. Okay, this will be your first formula for some of you, the first formula you maybe ever put in. For others, you have put a formula in. So to start a formula, we have to use the equals key. So you should be in cell D2 right now with equals. Are you in cell D2? And did you put in your equals key? All right, how do I calculate the pay for John? What would you tell me? You would take the 40 hours times 19, right? So now, I always ask you to click in the cell, and then you don't make a mistake. So I want you to click in cell B2. And did it come in blue? Click in cell D2, B2. All right, now, this time, I want you to use your star on the numeric keypad. Use your star on the numeric keypad. Now, from math, you know you have to have an operator. Okay, that's just the way it is. That's your operator, the times. So we're taking the 40 times, and now click in your rate cell, which is C2, and it should be green. Is it green? Okay, well, whatever color it is. Okay. The 2013, you guys will be red. 2010, you'll have blue and green. Has everybody got blue and green? Okay, press enter. All right. Go back. Did you get 760? Okay. Now, grab your fill handle, your thin black crosshairs, and drag down. And did you get an answer on every cell? Okay. I want you to look here. Click in cell D3 for me. Click in cell D3. And do you see B3 times C3? Okay, I want you to go to D3 for me, please. And I want you to see that it says B3 times C3. And this is the most important thing that you'll ever learn in Excel. okay? And this is the basic concept that you have to understand. If you don't understand relative, you won't survive, okay? So do you see B3 times C3? And then do you see B4 times C4? Do you see B5 times C5? B6 times C6? So what is it doing? Performing the same action, but in a different row. Same action. Multiply the hours times the rate. Same action, next row. Same action, next row. Same action, next row. That's called a relative copy, okay? You're performing that same action. And you can think of Grandpa and Grandma, Mom and Dad, and the kids. Have you all got the same cheekbones? Mm-hmm. Have you all got the same nose? You didn't have when you were little, but as you got older, oh, look, you look like your mother or you look like your dad. Okay? So that's what relative means. The next generation, but you're still similar. The next generation, you're still similar. So you're performing the same action, but in the next row. Okay? All right, good work. Go Control S to save. And now click in cell E1 for me. And type the word increase. Type the word increase. All right, and press enter. And now go back to E1 and go Control C to copy. Go Control C to copy. All right, and I want you to go to A16 for me. I want you to go to A16. Now, you learned how would you put the word increase in there? Control V, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to do it faster. I'm going to press enter. If I only need to do it once, you can press enter. And I never taught you that. You just learned that now, okay? So in Excel, if you're only going to need the word once, just hit enter and you're good to go. Okay, I want you to go now to B16 and put in 10% for me, okay? Put in 10%. So you went to B16 and you put in 10% with a percent sign. And press enter. Okay, let's go to E2 for me. Let's go to E2. And the question is, your pay is $760, right? What if you got a 10% increase? How much would that increase be? What would you tell me to do? First of all, you tell me to put in an equals key to start the formula, right? So you can all get that part right. Put the equals key in. And I said your total pay. So what cell would you take? D2. Okay, so take D2 times, use your star on your numeric keypad, and you'd multiply by 10%, right? Okay, press enter. How much would you get? $76. 10% of 760? $76, right? Okay, put your cursor. Is your cursor in cell E2? Check. All right, now use your thin black crosshairs and drag down. What'd you get? Tough luck. Hope my name is John. I got the increase, you didn't. What did you do wrong? Take a guess. Okay, look at B2, or pardon me, look at E2. What does your formula say? D2 times B16. What does the next formula say? D3 times B17. What's in B17? Nothing. What's the next formula say? B18. What's the next one say? B19, B20. They're empty. And the computer says, that's the operator. Garbage in, garbage out. Okay? So, go back. It can't be relative. Okay? It cannot be relative because you saw what happened. You went to a blank cell. Everybody needs to get a 10% raise. It has to stay absolute or constant. It can't change. All right? So now, this time, this key you'll have to learn. Press function key F2. Function key F2. And now, can you see your formula? You should be able to see that it's blue and green, right? Okay, and your cursor's flashing at B16 right now. Press function key F4 once. And do you see $2 signs? Okay, those $2 signs say you have to freeze the row, freeze the column. That means the cell is frozen. You can't go out of that cell. You've made it constant or absolute. All right, press enter. And did you get the same answer? You did, right? Go back to E2. Go back to E2. Grab your fill handle and drag down for me, please. And did you get something for everybody? Yes, you did. Let's go check the formulas. Go to E3. What does it say? D3 times B16. D4, it's going relative, which is supposed to, but does it say B16? Yes. D5 times B16, absolute. D6 times B16. D7 times B16. D8 times B16. So the 10% never changed. That's the difference. And those are the two things you have to learn. Relative says D2, D3, D4. Absolute says B16, B16, B16. All right, go Control S to save for me. And now you said, gee, I'd like to look at these numbers and have some, I'd like to look at these numbers and I want to have dollars and cents. So I want you to click in cell C, actually let's click in cell B2, hold down your shift key and click in cell E8, E13, okay? So click in cell B2, hold down your shift key and click in E13. Did everybody do that? All right. Now, your famous one, right click. Right click for me. And go to Format Cells. Right click and go to Format Cells. Okay. On your Format Cells, do you see that you have currency and accounting? You're always going to use accounting. So choose accounting. And at this point, I don't want a dollar sign. So say no dollar sign. Okay, so did you choose accounting with no dollar sign and 2 decimal places? Okay, click on OK. Go over there, Josh. And now have you got 2 decimal places? So that's why we didn't put in any decimal places at that time. Okay, this time click in cell C2 for me. Click in cell C2. Yeah, use that. You can. Click in cell C2, hold down your shift key, and I want you to click in cell E13. Did you do that? Okay, this is too... Okay, your highlight is on. I want you to right click for me. Right click. I want you to go to Format Cells. Go to Format Cells. And I want you to choose Accounting. And this time, I want you to choose a dollar sign. Choose a dollar. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Cancel. My mistake. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Click in cell C2. Hold down your shift key and click in cell E2. Click in cell E2. Have you got one set highlighted? Okay, some of you didn't listen. Click in C2. Hold down your shift key and click in E2. Did you do that? All right, right click, go to Format Cells, and I want you to choose a dollar sign. With your accounting format, choose a dollar sign. And say OK. So now you should have a dollar sign at the beginning of the column, right? OK, good work. Go Control S to save. Just sit down and listen. Grab a seat right there. Pull that chair out. OK, now this time I want you to go to F1 for me. Okay, in F1, what I want you to do is type in there for me total. Okay, type in there total. And now you should be in cell F2. Are you in cell F2? Okay, I want to know what your pay is plus your increase. So what would you tell me to do now? Equals, and this time we have to use a function sum, S-U-M. So I want you to put in SUM and open your parentheses. Open your parentheses. All right, did you do that? Now, this time, watch carefully here. You have to take your big white cursor, the big white cursor, and highlight D2 to E2. Okay, so does it say D2 colon E2? All right, press enter. And did you get $836? All right, good work. So go to F2. Now get your thin black crosshairs and drag down. Get your thin black crosshairs and drag down. Did you notice that your dollar sign repeated? Okay, that's fine. We're going to fix it later. Okay? All right, I want to do one more thing with you. I want you to go to A16. I want you to go to A16 for me, please. Click in cell A16. Hold down your shift key and click in cell B16. Did I highlight both cells? I did. Now, take your thin black crosshairs and drag down. So did I have to type increase again? No. And I got 10% repeated, right? So in the second 10%, I want you to make it 110. It did it for me, yeah, thank you. Okay, so now you've got an increase with 110%. Okay, let's go back to G1 and put in here T-pay, just for lack of a better name, T-pay. So this time, Ken said to me, he says, well, you calculated the increase all by itself, and I didn't want that. I want to know what's my new salary going to be without doing it in two separate steps. So that means I have 100% for my salary, right? And 10% for my increase. That's 110%. So if I take my salary times 110%, I should get my total pay, right? Okay, so in G2, put in your equals, and you're going to take D2, so click in cell D2, that's your pay, right? Times, and now this time 110%. And what do you have to remember? F4 once. Press F4 once. And do you see the $2 signs? Everybody sees the $2 signs? So you're good? Press enter. And did you get the same answer? 836, and you should have, right? Okay, so grab your fill handle, your thin black crosshairs, and drag down. All right, click outside and go Control S to save. Now, on a test, I will be very specific with you. I'll say, show me 2 columns, or I will say, show me the answer with 1 formula. Showing me the answer with 1 formula, you have to use 110%. Okay, if I show it that you can use 2 formulas, then you can do it the other way. All right, and of course I will ask it both ways. Okay, now, those of you, do you all know how to use the paintbrush? You should, okay? So now what I want you to do is go click in cell E3. Everybody go click in cell E3. Did you do that? Go to your Home tab. Go to your Home tab. Everybody found the Home tab? And now do you see that Format Painter? Everybody sees the Format Painter? All right, double click on it. And now I want you to paint from F3 and G3 down to the bottom. And there should be no dollar signs now. And turn your paintbrush off. And go Control S to save.